slow down as the engines stall. Our eyes catch scene, explode. Time we discover the entry to other planes. Time we collide with the energy in other ways. Stay with me as we cross the empty skies. Sail with me. We play in dreams as we cross through space and time. Stay with me. Time we discover the entry to other planes. Time we collide with the energy in other ways. Stay with me as we cross the empty skies. Sail with me. We play in dreams. Welcome to another horrid, despicable, terrible episode of the apocalypse. The lesson there was, don't try and sing when you're just getting over an illness. You must give me, people, you must give me a break here. I sing Cornell, I sing, I can't even remember his name, the singer for Chino. I sing Chino, I sing Hoon, I sing the craziest, hardest shit after smoking 2 packs of cigarettes in an illness that almost fucking killed me. See what I'm saying? That ain't just the cigarettes. Anyway, the end is nigh. You must choose one of 2 paths. Option 1, God, righteousness, goodness, decency, the law. Option 2, the imp, the Antichrist, the apocalypse, evil, cruelty, Armageddon. Choose now. Congratulations, you have chosen the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide. Nicholas, so good to see you, a bloody gay. It appears the Reich has the full court press on affordability and the word Biden on the tip of their tongue for every question. The answer either is, I had nothing to do with it, or Joe Biden. That's all you get from the Reich on the news shows. So the full cabinet has been dispensed before our eyes to tell us how great everything is. Donnie himself came out and lied his ass off as well. For Donnie's grift is showing, son. That's why they're frantically hitting the news shows, having the rallies. Also, I watched a particularly disgusting incident with ICE, and there are thousands a day. It was a snowy neighborhood, and a young woman was walking upon the edge of the street, for there was snow piled against the rest of it. There was nowhere else to walk. One of the ICE SUVs literally ran her over. Luckily, she did not go under the tires. The car struck her. She didn't see it coming, for she was walking with her back to it. Knocked her to the ground. She was this close from going beneath the tires. Crowds developed, enraged over this. And the fact the lake fodder was even there. They got out of their vehicles. They acted like tough guys with the masks on. They pepper sprayed. They yelled at people. They pushed people after running over someone. I have a message directly from the man. Every single fat, worthless, masked fucking cunt is destined for the lake. Fire! Nothing else. Lest you turn away, son. I promise you. Fire is your fucking destiny. Do you hear me? Directly from the man. And he wanted me to say one more thing. Fuck you. Fucking cowards. It's all fun and games till that fire hits your ass. And you know what convinces me that fire is real? You. And your fat ass. And your mask. And your $3 training. You. Fire is all you have to look forward to. Get all the cruelty in now. Cunt! Okay, now let us begin. Donnie did this interview this morning or last night or something. And he acted like he was being forced to do it or something. He's in a sit-down interview with this person. Maybe it was like a contract thing. Maybe it's legally obligated or something. Maybe he agreed to it. But he doesn't want to answer any questions. He looks like shit. And he's telling the person, like, why would I even talk to you? Orange bitch. You're at a sit-down interview. You're supposed to be talking to the fucking interviewer. It's the whole point of it. I know you want to build a Reich. Before you choke on your own shit while you're asleep because you can't stop it from coming out. I know you're in a hurry. You sat down for the fucking interview, you fat fuck. You agreed to it, obviously. Why you acting like you're being, why is it pulling teeth? I don't get it. Let's take a look. Can you rule out a ground invasion? Why would I talk to you? An extremely unfriendly publication, Politico, that got $8 million from Obama to keep it afloat. Why would I do that? Oh, and I want to say I hate you, the rubes that made this happen, that I got to read this. I have to explain this to you fucking sad people. And you know who I'm talking to. Because I'm one of 5 people on earth that even knows what it is, probably. I guess Donnie's pissed because he's not getting the cream puff questions, like from Laura Ingraham or something. Donnie, you're so great. You're so wonderful. A ground invasion, because that's inevitable. We all know Donnie and Pete are going to steal that oil. We know that by now, right? I don't really have to say it, do I? And his reaction from the question, he's the fat cunt that's in front of the camera doing the interview. So why would I talk to you? Because you're sitting in the chair, asshole? You're subjecting us all to this theater, and the point of it is to talk to the fucking interviewer? Again, you people put a 3-year-old in charge. You understand that, right? You understand that you're doomed too, right? I guess you don't. You will in time, son, don't worry. More and more of you coming around. Not sincere conversion coming around. Most of you aren't capable of that. You're coming around to you ain't got no money, business, farm no more. And you feel like an asshole. And you don't love this so much anymore. I just saw a farmer on camera today. Suicides up, foreclosures up, same drill as first time. They get a bitch ass, I don't know, what is it, 12 billion or something? When Argentina got 40. More and more of you are realizing what a mark you were. Fascinating to watch, and I'm here to tell you, and I don't like the fact that I have to say this, thanks to you cunts and your imp and your antichrist. It's going to get so much worse. Again, you think someone of my intellect would be in front of you people for 10 fucking years yelling about this? If it wasn't a million times over your fucking head and that goddamn serious? Again, world, you don't know me. I am not of you or like you. So many of you were so disappointed over the years, weren't you? That I wasn't just like you, a worthless lion, just nothing. Willing to do anything. For any reason, just because you're mad. Never, son. Don't ever mistake me for you. And you know who I'm talking to. Sorry to fucking disappoint you. Cunts. And again, brings up $8 million, brings up Obama's name. This is what I'm trying to say. All you wanted was the talking points, because you don't mind having a king. That makes you a believer of nothing except evil and cruelty. We can't get an answer on whether we're about to invade Venezuela. That's an inappropriate question, right, fuckheads? Right, fat orange fuck? Why? Because it's not a kiss-ass question. It's a question about to point out the warmongering of the Reich and the Antichrist, son. 90 bodies. Count them. Mass murder. I knew Donnie would get there. Again, son. That's why I've been yelling for 10 years in front of you fucking people. Not for fun or fucking glory or money or nothing. Because I didn't get jack none of that. In fact, the world did its damnedest to make sure. Another thing. A lot of things that happened in this world, again, concepts you people can't even fathom. It's an equation. People aren't sanctioned to handle things right now. In the next realm, they will be. There's a lot of people that are owed a tremendous debt for what they doled out to others. No one has sanction now to handle that. They will there. Think about that for 5 minutes. And I know that for certain. Why would I talk to extremely unfriendly? You're about to point out the Reich I'm building, that I'm about to steal Venezuela's oil, and I'm a mass murderer. Why would I talk to you? Well, I got a question. Why is he sitting in the fucking chair if he doesn't want to talk? Piece of fucking shit. What a joke this is. We gotta fucking watch this bullshit fucking trash theater every fucking day because 35% of this country is fucking trash. Thanks, assholes. Breaking, New York Times. The Honduran Attorney General just announced that he issued an international arrest warrant for the country's former president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, otherwise known as the guy Donnie pardoned. The guy that brought in 500 tons of coke as he's mass murdering people down in the Caribbean. And I ain't seen 1 kilo of coke yet, son, from those boats of you. So what we blowing up? They can't even grab a kilo off the boat and show us, right? That's how little respect they have for us. That's how long they've been planning this. It's all inevitable. Nothing's going to stop it. And again, that's why I despise you people. And I mean that sincerely. Because once you flip the switch, all inevitable. You in the lake, inevitable. So the guy Donnie took, I'm sure, a bribe from for a pardon to get out of his 45-year jail sentence for drug trafficking. You know, the very people or the very reason Donnie's mass murdering people down in the Caribbean. That's what he says, right? Yet the kingpin who brings 500 fucking tons of coke in, he gets a pass. I guess what I'm trying to say, and everyone already knows this, despite the way they voted or what talking points they spout that were given to them. He's a grifter, nothing more. He's a liar. He's a murderer. He's a rapist. He's a pedophile. All of it. And I'll say it to his lawyer, son. And I'll get away with it too. You know why I'd get away with it? And I do every night? Because it's fucking true, son. You know why I never got a cease and desist or a lawsuit? One that would legitimize me, and they were scared to fucking death of that. I think you know what number 2 is. A long time ago, my girlfriend used to monitor the comment section months ago. And someone brought up one of the widows, and I don't look at the comment section. She felt like doing it. I didn't ask her to. She likes to keep track of what's going on in there. Someone brought up one of the widows and said they said hello or something like that. You know what I thought when my girlfriend told me about that? We'll say hello at the lake. And I know that for certain. And I want you to think of that statement. And then I want you to think about how many things I've been right about. Uncannily, eerily, even scares me, son. I thought we might say hello in a courtroom. Then the apocalypse happened thanks to you people. Now I realize we'll say hello at the lake. And we'll see who's on which side of it. Son. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Marjorie, and the 2 cunts that she sent after me too. That's what I was talking about sanction for. Not just them, many others. I'll see those 2 cunts again. And I'll have sanction. I wonder if their worthless Greek asses fucking died yet. I wonder. Those 2 cunts that were sent after me. One of them was a little bit heavy, so he might have, heart attacked out by now. We will see each other again on a different plane, son, where I will have sanction and you will not have a gun. I pity you. Marjorie Taylor Greene doing her cleanup tour again. I ain't buying one iota of this shit. Margie, in essence, is the female Donnie. I sent those death threats directly to him in a text message and informed him of what his name-calling and words were doing. It was a direct assassination threat on my son, and he was extremely, I won't repeat what he said, but it was extremely unkind, no sympathy, no care. From the head of MAGA? I watched Margie for all these years. I didn't see her have any sympathy or care for anyone. I saw her attacking people like a howler monkey. I saw their people threatening people, intimidating people, getting her opponent to drop out. Funny. All the tactics she used, Donnie used, and she cheered on, are now being used against her, according to her. She's also said she's been swatted a bunch of times. I don't believe any of them. When she was still MAGA. So these things might not have even happened. But then again, she said she showed Donnie so. But she could get some jerk off to send her some message and say it's a threat. She's done it before many times. Every time she said she was swatted. She wasn't. Liar. And again, who's been more evil, cruel, more MAGA, who helped build MAGA more than Margie Sportfoot? Again, people, I told you last night, I've been telling you for months, I told you back in January, these people would cry on our shoulder in the future. Look how high up Margie is. Integral to this whole thing, this apocalypse we're in. We can thank her. She had a nice big role in it. And she loved every minute of it when she thought she was going to the Senate. And then Donnie stopped answering her calls. And here we are. What does snakes do, class? They eat each other. Every time. No sympathy for Margie, I'm sorry. I know an act when I see one. She's been doing one this whole time. Now she's just doing a different one. Poor me, again, on the other side of the fence. It was poor me on Donnie's side of the fence for all these years. Now it's poor me on the outs. Fuck her. Margie, again, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. There's nothing genuine about you, honey. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly... Can you believe she said this, son? This is what I mean. You people believe in nothing. You stand for nothing. You're the ultimate hypocrites. You are the word hypocrite walking. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name-calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try and get his way. I couldn't tell if she was describing Donnie or herself. Because that's all she'd been doing since she reared her ugly head. Now, when Donnie tells her to fuck off and he ain't picking up the phone and her Senate dreams are dashed, at least on Donnie's back, they're dashed, she gonna try and go around Donnie? I don't think that's gonna work very well for her. I thought she was describing herself. Again, the female Donnie shitbags. She's projecting what she is onto Donnie. Donnie's projecting what he is onto her. It's a fucking clown show, man. Can you believe she just said that? Puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to get his way. That is Margie Sporkfoot, her resume right there. Every day, all day. Now it's, Donnie don't like me anymore. Can you like me now? Because I really want to be a senator and president someday. Again, what all you cunts don't understand, it doesn't matter how high you rise or what your plans are. There is no future. It's dead, son. If what you're seeing doesn't show you that, my God, it's fucking over. America's never coming back. I'm sorry. Again, why I've been yelling for 10 years. Not for fun, son. Big joke to so many people. When you see them plagues that come at you after you take the mark, you won't think it's a game no more. That's if you don't commit suicide because you lost your farm or business in the interim. What you thought were just talking points were an enemy operation against you, moron, for 20 years. What you thought was just social media was an enemy operation against you being funded by Russia, or they'd be half the size, the social media companies. You spouted the talking points. You elevated the cruel and evil because you're cruel and evil. You ushered in the apocalypse. It never was a game, son. So many of you still think it is. You'll think that all the way to the abyss. And you'll have Biden's name on your tongue all the way to the abyss. And it won't help you. Margie and Donnie. Someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name-calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try and get his way, which is exactly what Margie has done every single day. Now we're supposed to be like poor Margie after she's ruined our country by helping this thing get off the ground. Ruined our world. It's the apocalypse, son. It ain't just an America thing. You about to find that out the fucking hard way. The rest of the world. Dead serious. Deadly serious. Some of you will die at the hands of the Reich. Some of you that voted for it. Many that didn't. This paradigm that we're all used to is fucking over. We going into some whole new shit, just like 1939. You understand, like, the whole world was on fire in 1939, right? 1940, 41. Especially 44, 45. And I want to remind the Nazis, from the masked, worthless cunt on the street with the pepper spray and machine gun, with no training, $3 asshole, who finally hit the big time, right? All the way up to the top Nazi, Donnie and Vlad. How did the last Reich end up? How did its leader end up? How did his subordinates end up? How did the army man for Germany end up? You thought the way your Reich ended last time was bad, son? The man will show you horrors you can't even dream of. That is your destiny. Every single Nazi, down to the voter. Down to the guy with the Klan hood in his basement. If any of this Reich is in your heart in any way, you are over. And again, you thought the last Reich ended bad? Pete, Leon, Donnie, Miller. Wait till you see how this one ends, baby. You thought the last one was horrific? You don't know what horrific is, son. You're gonna find out. And Donnie's health don't seem too good, so, you know, I'm thinking in the next 3-4 years, if we even make it that far. Let me move on to the next thing. My God, there's a lot, and I'm digressing way too fucking much. That video got me pissed off, man. And that's just one of many I watch a day. We all got to stop pretending, and it's a shame so many still are pretending, that Donald Trump is and his whole movement is not an abject racist and racist movement. We have to pretend that, or we have to stop pretending that they're not going to militarily try and take over the world, that our own military's been deployed against us, that he isn't Hitler. Everyone should be calling him a racist, and the movement racist, and evil, and illegal. Everyone should be calling him Hitler. Every reporter, everyone. It's too late. You didn't do it when you needed to. Everyone should be calling him a mass murderer. Every reporter, every person. Everyone should be pissed off about the state of our economy. I told you back in January, they have to crash it, right? Why? To get you on Donnie Coin, that's why. Real simple. Just like the story says, son. Read the story. It'll tell you every place this is going. And all the people laughing right now, enjoying it, the people that will laugh in the future when it gets even more cruel, satanic, and evil. You'll get to read what will happen to you. And again, son, this ain't you watching Alex Jones 15, 20 years ago thinking you know what's up. You're listening to a real motherfucker right now. This is guaranteed, and it won't be a movie, son. There is a lake, and you going. And it ain't going to happen 20 years from now. We all need to stop pretending, and by we all, I really mean the press and the people that are saying things on camera or in print or whatever. This has been normalized for way too long, and everybody knows exactly what it is. We should have been calling it what it is. Too late now. Once you got the keys, man, no going back. Do you believe the second strike was necessary? Donnie looking like shit in the interview. He doesn't want to answer no questions, even though he's doing a sit-down interview he agreed to, but whatever. Oh, well, it looked like they were trying to turn back over the boat. Oh, you mean the boat that was broke in half because it got hit by a fucking missile? That one? That's the talking point, Donnie? But I don't get involved in that. That's up to them. Sure, Donnie. On my orders. That strike specifically. That's what Donnie posted that day. Why isn't that being brought up every 5 seconds? That's what I mean. Disgusting that we just let these people, and you rubes let these people just say Biden, whatever, this bullshit. I don't get involved in that. They were trying, those people we murdered were trying to turn the boat back over after we blew it up and they were in the open ocean. That's the justification for mass murder. That makes it cool and Jesus-y, right? No, it doesn't. And I told you the man's making a list. Just like the Reich's making a list. And he's checking it twice. Just look how goddamn horrible he looks. He won't croak, though. The devil will keep him alive, just like Adolf Hitler. That's, again, why I'm disgusted by everything. I know this cunt is being propped up by something. The little imp destined for the lake, which I have seen him being thrown in. When I watch stupid people like Marjorie Trader Greene, some people call her Taylor Brown because green sometimes turns brown. People with low IQs like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a low IQ person. She was a loyal person until I wasn't able to answer her phone calls. I hate you. that this is our world now. But you're of third grade mentality, the typical Trump voter, so why wouldn't Donnie be? You must be, you voted for it. That's the president saying that, by the way, about one of his own most loyal MAGA cultists for so many years. I mean, my God, he looks like he's just barely fucking hanging. Look at this fucking atrocity. What the fuck? Fucking imp keeping that thing alive. I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia, the horrible things they're doing to Minnesota. It's incredible. You mean the horrible thing they're doing by being black in Minnesota? Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's what Donnie means. The facade is dropping more. They're an inch away just saying the N-word live on camera. I'm not kidding. This is pure racism right here. And it's getting a lot more clearly spoken. I've got more context on this comment, but just disgusting abominations every day, all day, with this monster, this beast. God calls him a beast, son. John the Revelator called him a beast. Fucking animal. Again, you people must be just as cruel and despicable as him, because you love it. Only explanation. And look, throughout Scripture, throughout the Bible, the history of the world, in some ways, many historical accounts. Look, some people on this earth are just evil and they're destined for the lake, and we must suffer them. That's it. You're looking at it. And they're the people that put their name on this thing across the world, not just America. And it's stated very plainly that whoever takes the mark is going in. There's no wiggle room, no, please, Lord, don't. Hate what God hates. It appears once you take the mark, God hates you. Again, read about the plagues that will happen to you. You know it's coming, son. You can feel it. Forget about politics. Run with that feeling in your gut. Go read what's going to happen to you. Because every person out there and the three watching this, whether you're going to take it or not. You already know. You've already made the choice. Go read what's going to happen to you. And that's guaranteed. And it's not a fantasy story. And you know how I know it for certain? After all these years. Donnie shitbags. And you. None of this makes logical sense. And the story is coming true before my eyes. And it's all the literal opposite of what you people been pointing at, yelling, and whatever for 20, 40, 50 years. You are mindless sheep. Mindless sheep. And you've been herded perfectly without one shot fired. But again, all of you out there know what you're going to do. Go read what's going to happen to you. That's a promise. And if this part's true, you, the imp, the Antichrist, and what y'all doing, I hate saying y'all, then I guess that other part's true, right? I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia. Why don't they contribute? Because they're black? That's what Donnie's saying. Look, this is how the modern Nazis that hate all other ethnicities and Jews have to talk. They can't just clearly state it. So they say it like this. I don't want to see Somalia. I want people that contribute. Donnie's never contributed in his entire life. Just leeched off his dad, off of banks, to the point they wouldn't even lend him money. That's how much of a fucking deadbeat this motherfucker was. And what fascinates me about the Trump family, you can find an interview in the past 2 months with every member of the Trump family saying, well, we had to get into the crypto and grift and scam because they debanked us. Yeah, they debanked you because you're fucking deadbeats. You're criminals. We're supposed to have sympathy for you, you fucking cokehead? Because the banks got tired of just lending you money and never getting it back? Again, they say this as if it's like normal. I mean, the reporter points their grift, their scam out with the crypto. And their response is, well, we scammed so many banks, we got debanked. I mean, we had to think of another scam. That's their answer to the question. And you people cheer for this. A cokehead, grifting left and right. Net worth went up like 10 times since he met you. Since Donnie got back in. They got debanked. They had to come up with another grift. Oh, okay. Anybody want to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop or the Burisma job? That Hunter was actually qualified for, by the way. You'll talk shit on Hunter all day, all night, as if it fucking matters. Hunter wasn't running for office, you fucking jerk-offs. So sad. Again, it's just so easy. It was so easy to get you to hand over your country and the world. Yell about Hunter Biden. You'll watch Don Jr.'s podcast where his jaw can't even move. He's so fucking gacked up. Again, you people don't believe in anything. You never did. So blatant racism with the Somalia stuff. They don't contribute, Donnie says. Oh, but Donnie the Leech, who's going to build a ballroom on your dime, build an arch on your dime, goes to Mar-a-Lago or one of his properties every week on your dime. His properties, which means the money goes right in the pocket, Rubes. Not that you care. That's why your country's over. Reason number 2 million. We don't care if he's a grifter. He hates who we hate. That gonna cost you the empire, son, and the world, and your soul. Because that's how stubborn you people are. That was your number one issue. He hates who I hate. You didn't think I knew that about you. I do. That's where the real line is. That Jewish man I told you about. That said, I know he's Hitler, but that's where the real line was for him as well. And he's an ethnic minority. The one the Nazis hate most. I guess he doesn't see it that way. You know who's one of his favorite presidents? Because he was a liberal until a certain moment took place. You're not going to believe it. George Bush Sr., the Nazi. The CIA has a Nazi problem. I've come to that conclusion recently. I always knew they were right wing, which is pseudo-Nazism in itself. It's always been. That's why the right wing, in every lecture, every politician, every judge, every one of them, if the subject of Adolf Hitler ever comes up, he's a liberal socialist. They were just desperate to convince you of that. Why? Because they're Nazis too. Their whole movement always was. George Bush Sr., the one who gave the clearest New World Order speech. That's how I know he's a Nazi. Because the New World Order in many ways is what Leon, what Thale, what Donnie, what Vlad, what others want. That's how I know George was one too. So this Jewish man was moved by George Bush Sr., the Nazi, the New World Order guy himself. And he was impossible to move from liking Donnie's shitbags. And his comment, again, I know he's Hitler, but that line of hatred and racism, you who are non-white, Jewish, whatever, you kind of look white, but you're technically an ethnic minority. Number one rule with Nazis, they hate Jews. I don't care how many Jewish people's hands they shake, how glowing they speak of Bibi Netanyahu. You know what they're thinking in the end, right? The end game. When the full facade drops, when they've gotten what they need from Bibi and Israel, they're aligned with the Muslims as well. You saw that, right, Bibi? You saw that, right, world? I think you can guess where this is going. When they don't need Bibi anymore. In other words, just like Adolf Hitler, every hand that Donnie shakes is someone he plans to betray. Cause this the Antichrist we talk, just like Adolf. Adolf didn't have no friends. He might have shook hands with you. You might have let him in the door like a dumbass. Once you do that, it's a countdown to the knife coming. Look at Leon. Look at Margie Sporkfoot. Some of the most loyal. Leon gave millions. Margie gave her howler monkey stalking, threatening, intimidation skills. Lying skills. They got betrayed, didn't they? When he shakes hands with Mark Carney or the leader of Mexico or some European leader, he already knows before he shakes your hand, he plans to betray you, Bibi Netanyahu. And I know Bibi needs him. He's taken Israel straight to destruction. He made a deal with the devil. Two devils, Vlad and Donnie, two Nazis. Back to the Jewish man that I know. Just because they shake your hand now Doesn't mean they ain't already thinking of, I'ma gas you later. These are real Nazis. You know what real Nazis believe. Therefore, that man's line of racism, that Jewish man's line of racism, that keeps him endorsing this, that's him dead. He's walking to the path to his own destruction at the hands of the people he's enabling. Like I said the other day, he voted for his family to be gassed. That's astounding. That's how strong this racism thing is. And in other people, whites out there, racism, brainwashing, Latin people and people of ethnic minority that voted for this, my God, the brainwashing. These are Nazis, and everyone's known this for 10 years. Everyone knew this is a white supremacist movement back in 2016. How anyone after that point, black, Latin, Jewish, you voted for your death, asshole. And your families. That must be supernatural, right? But it has been happening since the beginning of time. But now it has consequences. Like I said, the Bills do, it's different. People did it for generations, and they got to walk away unscathed. Vote for evil, pretend they're good. Nothing happens to them. This time, something happens to you. So again, I almost despise these people that have done this. I don't understand that level of stupidity. You will vote for a group that hates you, and you know it. Out of what? Because you've been brainwashed by talking points? Your dad was a Republican? What? My brain can't get past that. I don't understand that. Were I Jewish, son? I would have never voted Republican. Are you fucking kidding me? And then when the maximum expression white supremacist Republican MAGA party, are you fucking kidding me? They might as well have put on the Sh1t or on their platform when they were running, we plan to gas you. I bet you still would have voted for him anyway. I bet you would have. That's how far the ignorance, hatred, cruelty, racism, and stupidity go. I just don't, I can't wrap my head around it. You heard Donnie find people on both sides when the Jews will not replace us people were marching through the neighborhood. Remember that? Jewish people? Therefore, how could one of you vote? You voted for the gas chamber for yourself. That's just the reason I talk about it every single day. It's astounding to me. And I know not every Jewish person voted for this, but a lot of you did. You watched a crowd march through an American town saying, Jews will not replace us. You watched Donnie shitbags. This was years ago, son. Get on camera and say there's fine people on both sides, because Donnie knows the Nazis vote for him, and he didn't want to ostracize or alienate them and lose those votes. You saw that. son. And you vote for it? And again, I don't care if you're a rich Jewish person who wanted tax cuts. Do you want the gas chamber, son? You must! Because I know a lot of you people with money did it for that reason. You know goddamn well what all this is, but blinded by the tax cuts, blinded by the portfolio. I know. Again, you kept voting for evil every 4 years. Because you have money, and you know the Republican Party always gives money to people that have money. I know. That's going to cost you your soul, and the bills do this time. You don't get to walk away unscathed. I'm sorry. That's astounding too. The Jews with money. How many of you voted for this? And I know not all of you. You were willing to risk, literally, this is your existence. You were willing to risk the gas chamber for tax cuts. That's goddamn astounding to me, son. And again, I almost despise all of you people. People that voted for their race to be enslaved, deported, persecuted, because you're that stupid? The Jewish people that voted for this, you voted for the goddamn gas chamber? Because you're either that greedy, that racist, or that stupid? Bibi Netanyahu working with the two biggest Nazis on the planet right now. Vlad Putin, Donnie Shitbags. That's not an exaggeration. They're both literal Nazis. Again, Donnie didn't have Hitler's speeches next to his bed for nothing, son. That ain't light bedtime reading, you know what I'm saying? Jews knew that as well. Oh, he just reads Hitler's speeches? You know. This is part of the problem. Those Jewish people, those ethnic minorities, those dumb rubes, they voted for evil for so long and nothing happened to them. There were no repercussions. That was part of the problem. Now the bills do. And it's going to shock a lot of you that have been voting for this for years and decades and just walking away unscathed and thinking you're a good person. It's going to have real life consequences for you. And in the next realm as well. I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to leave this running for a minute because I need to smoke. Because I got a lot more and I'm digressing too much and I didn't mean to say half the shit I said. So I'll be right back in a moment. Forgive me. I'm back. For all -5 of you that are here. Okay, back to the interview. My God, he looks like death, man. Look at this fucking thing. Did he get some face work done? Looks a little pulled back or something. Chinese-eyed. Wonder what drugs he's on. You pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez and let him out of prison, even though he was convicted in a massive international drug trafficking scheme. How is that zero tolerance on drug trafficking? Indeed. Well, I don't know him, and I know very little about him, but the check cleared. He didn't say that part. Do you think they could send the wrong message, or that could send the wrong message to drug dealers? No, I don't think so, because the check cleared. Again, your Messiah is committing mass murder on his orders, he said, down in the Caribbean, trying to save us from the evil drug dealers, right? Right, Rubes? That's the story? That he pardons a guy that brings 500 tons in. Because the guy paid him. Unbelievable. Again, this is how I know. I've known for 10 years. You people believe in nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's going to cost you this time. It's cost so many of you already. It's going to cost you, son. Things you don't want to lose. And it couldn't happen to nicer people because all of you were fine with sicking these dogs loose on the population. And some of these dogs going to come knocking at your door too. I promised you that back in January. I'm promising it again. And I've been right about all of it, son. Some shit I just said off, just straight from me, which probably came from somewhere else, if it comes true. And even those things came true. Again, it's even jarring me a bit. I didn't expect to be so right. And no, I don't feel good, special, wonderful. I hate this paradigm. I hate this world. But I know something. Therefore, I'm sharing it. Again, because maybe 5 people on Earth. Because I see people post about this type of stuff. Some of them know kind of what's going on. They're saying some of the right things. Not what I'm saying. This is going to the nightmare. It's already at the nightmare. For many people. It's going so much further. Back with Donnie in the interview. Have you watched the video? I watch everything. I know, Donnie, that's what I was saying when you were lying about not knowing anything about this. I know. Do you believe the second strike was necessary? Well, it looked like they were trying to turn back over the boat, but I don't get involved. That's up to them. We're going to hit them on land very soon. That's why I'm reading this to you again. More context. Men were trying to save their lives and get on the boat somehow. And there was no way in hell they were turning over a 40-foot boat, broken, not broken, in open ocean after it got hit by a missile. That's the most complete bucket of bullshit I've ever heard. It's just mass murder, son. When your best argument is 2 guys in open ocean were trying to turn over the boat that exploded from the missile you shot at them, that's no argument at all, son. You got your name on mass murder now. Are you proud of yourself? You're getting closer to the lake, son. You might want to turn back now. Doesn't matter to me if you do. You're the only one that will suffer. I'll suffer a little bit here and die. You'll suffer amazingly here and die and go in the lake. Once you take the mark, guaranteed. And that's what's coming around the bend too, class. And again, the coin. I knew about the coin. I purposely didn't look at it. I didn't analyze it closely. I left it sitting there because I knew what I would find before I looked. And the coin was sitting there and it's calling me. Take a look, take a look. I know you're there. I don't want to look at it. I look at it in about 20 seconds, 666. No, I'm not explaining it again. And I knew I'd find that before I looked. That's why I didn't want to look. That's what I'm talking about. So Donnie says they were trying to flip over the boat, so it's cool to kill those two. 90 bodies, mass murder, Pete Hegseth, the Admiral, everyone down the chain to the button presser, Donnie shitbags, and you. This is Donnie talking about Zelensky. And my God, again, look at this. Just fucking orange death. Oh my God. He's talking about Zelensky. He's P.T. Barnum. He got Crooked Joe to give him $350 billion, and look what it got. It got him about 25% of his country is missing. Oh my God. This fucking demon. Do you know what the Ukrainians are going through, son? You think your life's fucking hard? You don't know what hard is. You're talking about Vlad, a guy who is as bad as Adolf Hitler. That's not the slightest exaggeration, son. He doing all the same things. Killing, raping, shooting missiles at a hospital, school, whatever he feels like every day. Put a hole in Chernobyl, for fuck's sake. People dying, being killed every day. And this cunt says all the money did is half his country, or 25% is missing. Oof. P.T. Barnum, no, Zelensky is not P.T. Barnum. That's Donnie. I've called Donnie a carnival barker many times. He's the personification of it. Hey, you fucking idiots voted for him just because he was a reality TV star and said, "You're fired." That's how stupid you are. When he never had a real job in his life, inherited $400 million. Tried to steal the rest, too. P.T. Barnum, that's Donnie projecting. Talking about grifting or a scam. Who's a bigger grifter and scammer than Donnie fucking shitbags adjudicated fucking fraud? My God. At least Joe didn't just say, well, you all treated me unfairly, so I'm going to take $350 million out the Treasury. And I'm going to have the AG sign off. That's cool, right? That's what your orange goddamn Antichrist is said straight up out loud to you. Any idiot still talking about Joe Biden. I mean, again, you lemmings. You will walk to the abyss. You will follow the Pied Piper, Donnie shitbags, to the abyss. I could just see you all parroting Joe Biden, Barack Obama, going over the ledge one at a time with those names on your lips, when everything you've ever said about all of them was a fucking lie. Every single thing. I could debunk in about 3 seconds. That's why I don't waste my time with you people. I don't debate you. I stopped doing that a long time ago. You're already dead again. How many times do I have to explain this to you? Why would I debate a dead man or woman? What's the point in that? You were dead before you were born. How do I know? The talking points on your lips. That's how I know. Nick Fuentes, every time I flip a rock over, I find another gay guy. I don't know. I thought this is a Christian family conservative movement. That's what they keep telling me. I don't know. He's on Piers Morgan. And this is what it looks like. Benny Johnson, too. A lot of people saying Benny's gay, too. He is. Come on, take a look at the guy. Another gay Nazi. And again, I'm not insulting gay people here. I know not all gay people are Nazis. These specific gay people are Nazis. That's all. Just like those specific gay Nazis back in 1939. Just like that. Same thing. Piers, you're not gay? Fuentes, no, but women are very difficult to be around. Piers, should they vote? Fuentes, no. Piers, they should stay home? Fuentes, yeah. Piers, so you're a misogynistic dinosaur. Have you ever had sex? He said more than that. He said you're a 27-year-old misogynistic, like old-fashioned dinosaur. Have you ever had sex? Fuentes says no. Piers, wow, says the guy who never got laid. Piers says a lot more. Piers was really trying to get tough with Nick and be like the defender of women and shit. Which was surprising. But this conversation, I'm not sure. I watched the video. I'm not sure if he was serious or not about having sex. He's 27 years old. I'm not sure. As of now, though, I think I'm going to believe him. So, dude's gay. He's a Nazi. I mean, he's hanging out with Yi. What were him and Yi doing? I wonder. I was like, when I saw, I was just like, oh my, this is just insane. And again, every time, I don't look for this. I'll be perusing Twitter, Reddit, whatever, and someone will say Scott Besson is gay. Not in that way, but I didn't know that when I read it. I didn't realize how many gay men were a part of this. I knew Thale and a few others. And then I find out another one is. Another one is. Another one is. Why does Donnie want so many gay men around? Roy Cohn was gay. Died of complications of AIDS, I believe. Donnie was around him quite often. Well, if we are Rome again, and we are, New Rome, it's compulsory to sleep with both sexes if you're an elite man. But apparently there's a real hatred of women with this group. And again, that's in the story, son. A different part of the book, same story. Where the Antichrist will have no respect for no God, including the God of women. Other translations, no respect for the desire of women. Many people read this piece of scripture. I read it over the years. I always wondered what the fuck it means. Because again, my Catholic edition said the God of women. He won't have regard for any God. And many teachers and a lot of people thought, based on that piece of scripture, the Antichrist must be gay. And they pointed to, of course, to Barack Obama. I knew they were wrong. Brother James Key again, when I found him right at the beginning of all this, 2015, around there, and he was the only other one on the internet saying Donnie was the Antichrist that I knew of. That was a real, knowledgeable Bible teacher. I see a lot of motherfuckers faking the funk, acting like they know something. Brother James Key actually knows something. He's a better Bible teacher than I could ever be. He knows more. He's just better. Better temperament. More wisdom. More calm. He was talking about that piece of scripture and he said that doesn't mean the Antichrist has to be gay. I thought interesting. I never really suspected that about Donnie. But then I think about his sociopathy, the things he's done and said, the way he talked about that woman, grab her by the you-know-what in that van with the other men. That's not how a normal guy talks about women sexually with other dudes. That's a guy doing an act. So Donnie, at the very least, it appears, likes both and has been involved with both. That's my opinion. Especially, only, actually, because of the amount of gay men that are around this movement. I believe Leon's gay too. Because he don't talk about women the proper way either. He talks about having Reich babies. That's not how a man looks at women. A man looks at women in an animalistic type way. Desire. Not, will you have one of my Reich babies? IVF. No. Donnie, the grab him by the you-know-what. That's not normal. It appears Nick Fuentes is another one. It appears Benny Johnson is also gay. Tim Pool, some of the outfits I've seen him wearing. Altman, Leon, Thale, Besant, one of the ambassadors, I can't remember which one. Strange. Strange that these men would want to take part in this because this movement literally persecutes gays. So The Nazis, a lot of the high-level Nazis in 39 were gay as well, and they were persecuting gays too. It makes sense based on Roman culture. Germany then was trying to be New Rome, take over the world, Berlin, the world capital. This is known. This is not a secret. Donnie, Stephen Miller, Thale, Leon, they are the modern Nazi Reich. Literally, this isn't a comparison. They want to finish the work. Again, when Donnie croaks, their plan is to AI Donnie. Forever, son, do you hear me? They don't plan on giving power back. You understand that, right? They don't plan on this being a 1 year, 4 year, 3 year movement. They plan on this being forever. So if Donnie croaked 2 years from now, they got a contingency. I already explained it to you. Hitler wanted a 1,000-year Reich. What do you think these fucking people want? A 3-year Reich? A 4-year Reich? And then, okay, we'll go away. No. So whether Donnie lives or dies, this Reich goes forward. That's their plan. You understand that? They want this to be the rest of existence here. Slave labor force, because there won't be any jobs. So if you want to eat, you do slave labor. I'm not kidding. Total subjugation, AI and drones, omnipresent dictatorship across the world. First time it's actually possible with AI, computers, all that, modern technology. Warmongering, stealing of resources, gassing, exterminating people. Yeah, that's coming. Public executions, all of it. Again, son, I am not you people out there. I knew of this 10 years ago. And that's why I've been yelling. That's why I'm yelling now. This ain't a novel. This ain't a movie. This is what's going to happen to you. And again, if what you've seen so far, none of it makes sense, it's the straight Hitler playbook. No one's stopping it. Where do you think it's going? But back to this. It really would not surprise me if that kid was gay. I don't care if he's gay. What I care about is Benny Johnson, Nick Fuentes, Besson, Thale, Leon. They're all gay. They're all trying to present themselves as they're part of a Christian, conservative, nationalist, blah, blah, blah movement, when they're all gay. And they're persecuting gays. In other words, I don't like the hypocrisy. And I just find it interesting that it's still being presented as Christian conservatism. Yet there's a gay man around Donnie like at every turn. Huh. And again, it makes me the scripture. It makes my mind constantly go back to that. Brother James may have been a little off. And technically the Antichrist wouldn't be just straight up gay. He would be bisexual. Because we know Donnie's been with women. We know he rapes women. Then again, violence against women. There are a lot of gay men that, fucking Jim McGreevey had children and a wife. There's a lot of gay men, especially in the Republican Party, that, they'll grin and bear it. And, they'll just say they have to go out late and they'll do what they really want to do with who they really want to do it with. That ain't a woman. Like Jim McGreevey. So that does go on a lot. People do that act. They're really gay. That's what they really like. Yet they know society will ostracize them. Maybe they're part of a religious movement. Maybe they're part of the Republican Party. They decide, well, I can't come out as gay. My family will hate me. The Republican Party will hate me. My church will hate me. I got to do an act. That could be Donnie's existence. Maybe that's why all the animosity towards women. Anger. Let's be honest, there's some gay men that don't want to be gay. They feel it's not masculine. They're angry about it inside, that's what they want. Not everyone. You can kind of tell the ones that are that. So they manifest that by violence towards women. Andrew Tate. Wouldn't surprise me if he was gay either. And that's where all this anger and violence against women could possibly come from. That anger over wishing they weren't what they were. And again, I want to be clear. I know not every gay person is doing that. Some are very comfortable in what they are. And they don't hide it and they're not ashamed of it. Others like Jim McGreevy, Nick Fuentes, Benny Johnson, Leon, Donnie. I feel like all of them are gay, and maybe Donnie's doing a little Jim McGreevy act. And maybe the animosity comes, a guy like Fred Trump, he probably wouldn't be too cool with a gay son. Then again, who knows what Fred was into? It's all very strange. And it just takes my mind right to the scripture every time I think about it. He'll hate the God of women, or he'll hate the desire of women. He'll have no regard for it. And so many people, the Antichrist has got to be gay. Maybe he is. Awful lot of gay men around in this right-wing grift machine movement, MAGA movement. They're not all politicians. A lot of them are podcasters. A lot of them are in the tech industry, taking that welfare Altman, Leon, the Palantir people, Thale, and that other few guys. Cokehead Carp. Strange. Again, almost like there's a supernatural aspect to this, because under every rock I'm finding one, man. It's not normal. There must be a reason for it. Again, I guess the New Rome reason. A lot of the top Nazis in 1939 in Germany were gay. They were New Rome at the moment. Now we're New Rome. Let me move on. Video of how China's trawlers are electrocuting the Persian Gulf and Iran's coast to death. Their industrial-scale pulse fishing kills everything: fish, babies, coral, leaving a dead ocean. These pirates need to be stopped before they leave the ocean lifeless. I did not know this was going on. This, again, will start a war. I didn't know fleets of fishing ships were electrocuting swaths of water to kill fish or stun them or whatever the fuck they're doing. Yeah, that would kill all the life, yeah. This is horrifying. Argentina deployed the Navy. I told you some of those countries should get together when I presented the Chinese fleet going near South America the other day, because their waters are fished out. Argentina deployed the Navy. I assume they made a line that if they would have crossed it, they would have started sinking ships or something. I don't know. They didn't actually shoot nothing down, though. So I don't know what good deploying the Navy is. Again, I assume they just made a line, like if you go any further. That's where it's getting to, I told you. There's gonna be a war over this. If Chinese waters are empty and they got to invade everyone else's waters, it's inevitable. It's a matter of time. And they ain't nice about it. And they use whatever goddamn method they fucking feel like. They could care less about the environment. This is known. Fleets at a time. Doing this electrocution shit and God knows what else. There will be a war over this. I promise you. Fucking serious. Back to the interview with Donnie and Politico. Should Hegseth testify under oath about the second strike on the alleged drug boat? Trump, I don't care if he does. I don't care. That means he cares a lot. And you would have seen the tape already if Donnie didn't care. Do you think he should? I don't care. I would say do it if you want. He cares a lot. He don't want Hegseth doing shit. And he don't want that tape out. He just flipped on a reporter yesterday, I believe. Because the reporter pointed out, hey, Donnie, you said a few days ago you would release the tape, and you haven't. I never said that. What are you talking? Fake news. No, he did say it. I watched the recording. They don't want you to see that tape, son. Otherwise, you would have saw it already. They showed you the, initial strike for so many of these mass murders. Why don't they want to show you this one? Must be real bad. Because it actually will depict a war crime if there was a war. Since it's not a war, it's just depicting mass murder on top of a war crime. And Donnie said, I don't care about 4 times here. That means Donnie cares a lot. About Pete testifying and or showing that video. Fucking joke. Okay, more context on the Honduras guy. You pardon the former president of Honduras even though he was convicted in a massive international drug trafficking scheme. How is that zero tolerance on drug trafficking? Well, I don't know him. I know very little about him other than people said it was like an Obama-Biden type setup where he was set up. No, it wasn't. The guy brought 500 tons of coke through his network in. Everyone knows it. Donnie's grifting. He took money from the drug trafficker as he's mass murdering fishermen down by Venezuela. That's what's going on. And no talking point's going to erase it. And bringing up Obama, Biden. Meaningless. Worthless. Again, this is the go-to move with the Reich, MAGA, Tea Party, all of it. Always just say these names. And the Rubes not in agreement. That's why your country's over, son. You were that easy to rob. Not even rob, you handed it over. I keep forgetting that part. For nothing. All for this, these 2 words. I'm going to show you on the camera. You'll be saying those 2 words, Obama, Biden, as you go over the abyss with Donnie. So fucking sad. That's all it took. That's all it took. Israel has officially come out in support of Russia. Netanyahu brags about being in daily communication and coordination with Putin. Israel's also invested in attacking the EU due to Europe still upholding international law and the ICC. I told you a few years ago, Bibi had decided to align himself with Russia. Vlad is a goddamn Nazi. That means he hates Jews. Donnie's a Nazi. That means he hates Jews. Bibi has aligned himself with the two top Nazis in the world. That will be the destruction of Israel. Enjoy. Unbelievable again to watch the head of the Jewish people, as far as I'm concerned, align with literal Nazis. Not just one, two. One that would love to see Europe destroyed or taken over by him. The other that wants to take over everything from Greenland down to South America and is now top of the board of peace, owns the Holy Land. Whether Bibi realizes that or not. And both have the same goal, white supremacy. Why do you think Vlad calls the Ukrainians Nazis? Because that's what Vlad is. Vlad is of the devil. He's all about inversion of reality. Donnie, too, same thing. Everything he points at his finger at and says, pedophile, rapist, criminal, that's him. All of it. Same thing with Vlad. So again, you've got a percentage of the Jewish people. You've got the leader of the Jewish people, as far as I'm concerned, Bibi Netanyahu, all aligned with Nazis. How do you think that's going to go for them? Once that facade drops, and it's inevitable, son. They have to drop it, just like Adolf Hitler did. You have to in a fascist movement, because people want to leave, they want to protest, they don't want a fascist movement. It's always of Satan. It's always evil. So you got to crack down. It's the only way to do it. But again, what amazes me, I never thought I'd see the day where Israel works with Nazis. Of course, the Republican Party has been pseudo-Nazism all this time, but not quite the same as this right now. This is incredible to me. He doesn't realize he's going to be fucked over by those two. That they're white supremacists. He's not a stupid man, Bibi. I guess he just needs to stay out of jail that bad. Astounding. I never thought I'd see it. Working with literal Nazis that hate his people and that plan on killing them someday. That's what Adolf did. What do we got? The modern Reich. The Hitler figure is Donnie. That's simple. What do you think they have planned? Kill some Jews, of course. That's what Adolf did. Think they forgot about that part of Nazism? The Jew-hating part? The Jew extermination part? No, that's tenet number one of Nazism. It's one of the ways I knew it was of the devil. The devil has had a hard-on for the Jews since the beginning of fucking time. All kind of history books, the Bible, it's everywhere. People don't sit back and ask themselves, non-Jewish people, they don't sit back and ask themselves like I did. Why do all these people hate the Jews? This doesn't make sense. Kids I was in high school with. What do you know about the Jews, I would think? You're a fucking high school kid. Yet the hatred was there. From the lily-white German kid and the copper-skinned Turkish kid. They both hate the same thing. Why? The devil's son, that's why. Doesn't make logical sense. What does that mean for you, Bibi, for the Jewish people of Israel, if Donnie's aligning with Putin, the other Nazi, and he's aligning with the Muslims? What do you think he has planned for you people? Him and Vlad and the Muslims betraying you. That will not go well for you. And it's inevitable. Let me move on. Jennifer Welch, I don't know who that is, but I dig what she's saying. I just think it's really important to remind everyone all the time that Leon Scum is a fucking immigrant that doesn't pay taxes, who is a parasite off the American taxpayer. Indeed, he's one of the worst parasites that ever walked the earth. Takes more welfare than all the single mothers combined throughout history. But what she forgot in her statement is Leon was an illegal immigrant. His bitch ass should have been deported. His brother admitted it in an interview, and Leon shushed him real quick. So this ain't about legal, illegal. It's about black and white, and every goddamn person knows it. That's another thing we need to stop pretending. Every time the right talks about legality, every reporter should be saying, you're just rounding up brown and black people. Why don't you just admit it? We all know it. Why are you ethnic cleansing? Why are you mass murdering people in the Caribbean? Why are you rounding up dark-skinned people? All this should be said every single day. Why is there torture? Why are there concentration camps? Every reporter should be asking that question. Why, reporters of the world? And it's too late. We're already going to the abyss, thanks to you cunts. Normalizing it, wanting to make money off it. Calling it politics. Not saying what I'm saying. If you just would have called it what it was. Because some of you are going to get arrested. You understand that, right? I guess you don't, till the cuffs get slapped on. That's what Adolf did too. That's what Vlad does too. We can't have no free press in a Reich. Some of you will go to jail. Some of you will be executed. And I guess the rest of you will just go along. Because so many of you have already. A shame if you only would have been saying what I'm saying every single day. Why are you a mass murderer? Why are we ethnic cleansing? Call it what it is. Why are you trying to steal Venezuela's oil? Just bluntly say what it is, son. Too late. It's over. Never mind. Leon was an illegal immigrant. His bitch ass should have been deported. He's taken more welfare than fucking, again, every single mother ever born. He is an utter leech and parasite. His rocket business would be nothing without the handouts. His car business would be nothing without the handouts. Donnie said it himself. If I take away the welfare, he goes back to South Africa with none. Yeah. For once, Donnie told the truth, but it wasn't for a noble purpose. It was because he was in a feud with Leon and he wanted to put a threat out there. And let Leon know, I could just turn off the spigot, son. And your pasty fat ass goes back to South Africa, lives in his daddy's basement. Leon shaped up after that, didn't he? Fucking leech, him, Thale, Altman, all of them. Although, again, Altman is the most tolerable. I like that he hates Leon, that's for sure. Back to Donnie. When you attack Europe, do you intend to send a message of tough love to our allies, or do you think that many of them are just weak and you don't want to be allies with them? I think they're weak, but I also think they want to be so politically correct. I'm not going to. Actually, I will. They should get the people out that came into the country illegally. Donnie doesn't like the darker skinned people being in Europe. He talks about that extensively in this interview. Again, the facade falling more. And he's showing you he wants to do this globally. And it bothers him. Talking about Europe being weak. Donnie Krasnov is a Russian asset. He's been since the 80s. That's not an exaggeration. Russian asset. Whether he thinks he's one, knew he was one, irrelevant. He ran out of money. Banks weren't lending to him. He had to turn to the Russian mob. It's that simple. Therefore, he's been an asset of theirs since the 80s. And it's fucking obvious. So what I'm trying to say is, for a Russian asset, a bitch who will do anything, including roll out the red carpet on American soil for Vlad fucking Putin, because there's compromat on his ass and he owes Vlad money. For him to say Europe is weak, I mean, what's weaker than being Vlad's number one fucking bitch? Nothing. Being a straight up Russian asset. Nothing's weaker than that. Nothing's weaker than Donnie Krasnov. This is Alford. I guess he's a congressman or something. Take a look at him. And we'll see the standard Reich answer. That's not what farmers are telling you. One farmer at a town hall told you that tariffs drove up prices of fertilizer. Alfred, it was Joe Biden that drove up the price. When are, Rubes, can I ask you this question? When do you stop blaming Joe for Donnie and the Reich ruining your life? How long in before you stop doing that? Will we be doing that 3.5 years into this? Of course we will, because that's what you did last time. That's how stupid you are. And they know that's all they got to do is say Joe Biden and the Rubes, the Lemmings. Again, that's why your country's over. It was Joe Biden that drove up the price. That's not what the farmers told you. Well, that's what I'm telling you. Sir, excuse me, are you listening to your constituents? Because he was talking over her and she was trying to say, well, we just watched a tape. That's not what they said. They didn't say Joe Biden. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because you're a fucking liar. Again, when do we stop blaming Joe for everything? I noticed that theme in the first term, too. Obama, Obama, Obama. That's how stupid you people are. And you know who I'm talking to. You're dumb enough to give up your country to seals that just keep saying Biden, 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 Obama, Biden, Hillary, Biden. You're that goddamn stupid. You're that goddamn malleable. And you never believed in anything. And you just run with the same names. And you'll all be, again, just walking off the edge of the cliff, saying Biden, Biden, Biden. Saying Biden's name won't save you from the cliff, son. Won't save you from the abyss or the lake either if you take that mark. And I know you will. So this man, again, just telling the lie right through the wall. And how many comments already have we heard the name Joe Biden? A second angle of ice appearing to run over a shackled Jose Calderon's legs in Washington. I can't show you the video. There's not even a picture. It's from a little bit of a distance. I'll just say this because I already yelled about this. I'm losing my voice already from it. If you have your name on this, I watched it, and yeah, they ran over his legs, and yeah, they lied about it, and I know the story that happened after that already. If you have your name on this, you're of Satan. You are destined for the lake, and that's a promise, and it's inevitable. People are being tortured, run over, their legs run over, pepper sprayed for fun. I've seen these videos. They sprayed a guy and his daughter while they were driving by. They ran over this man's legs and then lied about it. They take their license plates off the cars. They wear masks. They terrorize communities. They gas communities. Do you know what the man will do to you people? Who voted for it, who enabled it, who didn't vote for it and still preach it, like it? Do you know what the man's going to do to the cunts in the masks? I do. And I wouldn't want to be you, son. Leon Scum with a thesis. Once you understand the incentive, the reason for the behavior, it becomes obvious they are importing a left voting bloc that depends on government handouts. No, they're not. The person that depends on the most government handouts is Pete Thale, Leon Scum, etc. Leon's an illegal immigrant. I guess the Republicans are bringing illegal immigrants in too, like Leon, to finance, vote, and lie about shit. This is not true. They aren't bringing them in, you cunts. Different tragedies have happened around the world, you disingenuous goddamn lake fodder. Because you're the reason I have to say this. And I fucking hate you for it. Various things like Haiti, Ethiopia, different horrific things happen around the world. You fake-ass Christians who wouldn't know Christ if he slapped you in the goddamn face, and will take groups of people from those war-torn or whatever, refugees, whatever, and guess what, cunts? It happens under both administrations, under both parties. Sometimes Republicans let people in, sometimes Democrats let people in, and they give them protected status. It's depending on what's going on in the world at the time, Rubes. Lake fodder, disingenuous cunts. And it happens throughout the decades. That's why we had these different groups with protected status, and it wasn't all liberals bringing them in. I'm sorry. I see a lot of goddamn MAGA contractors down here with a whole crew of Mexicans. What's that about? Hypocrites! Nothing makes the racism go away faster than getting a low bid on a job, huh? Amazing. The biggest leech, illegal immigrant himself, talking about bringing in blocks of voters when he's literally helping starve people, kill people, round up ethnic cleanse this place, bring in whites from South Africa and Norway and whatever, like Donnie said today, to bring in a voting bloc to vote for them. Even though they won't need votes in the future, this is going full Reich. There won't be elections anymore, I'm sorry. And I know some of you'll think that's cool at first, until you're in the death camp. You won't think it's cool anymore. This story has been told for a long time. That every ethnic minority let in this country is let in by a liberal, just so they'll vote for liberals. No, I see so many of you Latin people. Latinos for Trump, Somalis for Trump. In other words, all these ethnic minorities that are allowed in here as refugees, a lot of them vote Republican. And then the Republicans enact racist policies designed to hurt them. And then they put this narrative out, because Leon ain't the first to say this. So many of you have said this over the years. I know I've seen more politics than any of you combined. I know all the arguments that have been made for the past 50 years. And who made them and why they were made. You don't. This argument been made many times by many a racist ass motherfucker over the decades. Let's hear a little bit more from Leon. A prominent example of this in America is Ilhan Omar and her Somali voting bloc in Minnesota, an area which used to be primarily Nordic German. We know what that means, Leon. Again, that's modern Nazi code for it used to be white. We want it white again. And I don't know. I just saw a group called Somalis for Trump that said, we voted for Trump. We liked him. And he about to come round us up. And guess what, cunts? Guys like me been yelling that for 10 years. He about to come round you up. And you voting for him? Are you goddamn insane? How many Latin people in the last 9 months have we seen say they took my husband, they took me, they took this person, that person, and I liked Trump, I voted for him. Again, when you hear a motherfucker has Hitler's speeches next to his bed, when that's a known story, you may want to take that seriously if you're an ethnic minority. Now, I could just keep my mouth shut and go along with this. I'm white. I'm white European. And no one would fuck with me. I could put a mask on and start kidnapping people. Make a lot of money. I'll go down for being a dissident. Because my conscience, my God, will not allow me to stay silent during this. In fact, I was one of the first humans on the planet saying this thing was the Antichrist 10 years ago. And all the cost that comes with that endeavor. Okay, I don't want to read any more of this. It's astounding for illegal immigrant Leon, who's taken more welfare than just the entire planet. Bigger leech has never been born. Is talking about dark-skinned people again and people that get handouts and voting blocks. Amazing. And again, if I had a nickel for every right-wing piece of fucking shit that spouted these talking points over the decades, the liberals are bringing in a voting bloc. What about the refugees Reagan brought in, cunts? What about the refugees George Bush Sr. brought in, cunts? What about the refugees George Bush Jr. brought in, cunts? What about the refugees Donnie brought in? No, it's not some evil liberal agenda. This country has always had immigration. We've always helped out refugees. We've allowed groups of people in for various different reasons. It's happened under Republican and liberal presidents. Fuck you all. for the fact that I got to say this, and by you all, you know who I'm talking to. Fucking illegal immigrant his goddamn self. His own brother admitted it on camera. Oh, don't talk about that. His fucking fat, pasty ass should have been deported along with everyone else, right? He was illegal, right? The law, right? You people don't give a fuck about the law. You voted for a rapist and pedophile. Convicted felon. You voted for this. The hideous, gaudy gold Home Depot trim. Donnie coming out. Someone get in here. Biden just shit my pants. You know how many times I heard Biden out of how many people's mouth just today from the Reich? And Donnie included? That's all we get is prices, inflation, everything goes. Rents and housing, unaffordable. Insurance costs through the fucking roof. Health insurance, fucking forget about it. And we get them telling us everything is fine and Biden shit my pants. And again, that statement right there, Biden shit my pants, that's why your country's over, son. Because you allowed your heroes in the pseudo-Nazi party to say that. Biden shit my pants. We're responsible for nothing. Remember in the first term? They asked him like where the buck stops or whatever. And he's like, well, it doesn't stop here. He put it on someone else. The essence of cowardice. The essence of worthlessness. They're never responsible for anything. I hear Joe Biden's name out of 9 members of the Reich per day as they rob your goddamn blind. And you still go along. What are you going to do when they take everything? And they will. Inevitable. My country is gone because Biden shit my pants was parroted by you fucking idiots. Because the rich and greedy told you to. And Vlad told you to. I hate you. I truly do. Someone get in here. Biden just shit my pants. I guess he's going to start blaming Biden for that load of shit in his fucking diaper too, right, assholes? And so will you. Biden didn't wear diapers, and he was older than Donnie. Better shape, too. Eileen Higgins just became the first Democrat elected mayor of Miami in nearly 30 years. That's called the Donnie Shitbags effect. That's also why they're going to have to go full Reich, just like Hitler went full Reich. Fascism is not popular. "30 years a Democrat had not been mayor of Miami. Donnie Shitbags unveils his whole plan because he wanted to do all this in the first term. Everything he's doing now. Now he's got the full spirit. He's unleashing the full plan. And things like this are going to happen. Seats will be flipped. Areas where Democrats have no business winning, they will win. Reich can't have that. They're going to have to go full Reich. No more elections. Have to. No choice. Here's Donnie. He did a rally because, again, they sent the whole Reich out today to the news shows, and Donnie at the rally, same talking points. Everything's great. Gas prices are low. Food prices are down. U.S. treasuries are up. No, it's horrible. This is one of the worst economies right now that we've ever had. The layoffs are massive, and there's only going to be more. The tariffs are massive and ain't going nowhere. They destroying it, son. And Donnie's grift is showing. That's why the whole Reich was sent out to say how great it was today, including him. That's why he's having rallies again. He's getting scared that the pitchfork's about to come out. I told you since January, they walk in a real fine line. I personally know how bad the public is fucked right now. And I know how many of you out there are hurting like a motherfucker, contemplating suicide and all that. You too ashamed to let anyone else know. I do know. While that's going on, you have the Reich and Donnie himself. And I heard at this rally tonight, when he brought that up, how great prices are and all that, dead silent in the place. That's what always snaps a rube or someone, an idiot, back to reality when their bank account says fucking zero. Then they start seeing, oh, wait a minute, the sky is blue. It wasn't purple all this time. My bank account says fucking zero now. I can't play this game anymore. So many of you out there. You would never admit it, though. That's the Donnie Shitbags effect again. So full court press on trying to tell you how great it is today. This is a different subject, though. This is what Donnie looked like. I don't know if I showed you. I've also announced a permanent pause on third world migration, including from hellholes like Afghanistan, Haiti, Somalia, and many other countries. I didn't say shithole. You did. I said that to senators, the Democrats. So they came in and they said, this is totally off the record. I said, why is it we only take people from shithole countries? We can't have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few. Notice the countries that Donnie does not want people from are countries where people are of darker complexion. And at the end, when he talks about where he does want people from, the people are of lily white complexion. So again, why are we all pretending that this isn't a flat-out racist movement? Everyone should be saying that. Leon's comment mentioning the Nordic peoples that populated Minnesota, allegedly. What color was their skin? Leon wants the Somalis out. And he wants that original, Nordic whatever. He said it outright. So again, why are we pretending Donnie and Leon are straight Nazis? What good does that do us? It only accelerates our demise. It only lets the fox get the foot in the fucking door. That's all they've ever wanted. They would have made a deal with anyone. They would have told any lie. They would have killed their grandma to just get the foot in the fucking door. And you let them every time. Every single time. That's why I despise the world. Unfucking believable he said this out loud. And again, this is how they code talk Nazi straight up racism these days. We don't want people from Somalia and third world shitholes. We want people from Norway or Sweden. That's how they say we want whites, because they can't flat out say we want whites. over and over again. Leon and him, coordinated comments, like the same talking points. Both talking about the Somalis. Both mentioning Nordic region people. So they discuss something at some point, obviously. Fucking unbelievable. Just, well, the reason I wanted to read you this is to show you, I told you the facade would fall more and more and more to just, till the N-word starts coming out. That's what you're witnessing. This is the facade dropping more. Just straight open racism. Donnie starts talking about Ilhan Omar at the shitty rally. Whatever the hell her name is with her little turban, she comes in, does nothing but bitch. We ought to get her the hell out. Then the crowd yells, send her back. That's the rally crowd. Can we send Leon back? He was an illegal alien for a while. Can we send Melania back? She was an illegal alien for a while. No? Only Ilhan? She does nothing but bitch. Really? Because I see Donnie crying about something every day about 9-10 times. No one's a bigger bitch than Donnie shitbags. No one's crying more than Donnie Ship. President stealing every nickel that's not laid down. His net worth has gone up 80 times since January. Still not happy. Still bitching every day. Because the whole world doesn't kiss his feet and tell him how great he is. That really bothers him. Send her back. But the pedophile, rapist, convicted fraud, I'll vote for him. And no, Ilhan didn't marry her brother, you fucking imbeciles. You fucking people that are 2 chromosomes away from a goddamn ape. Such a shame such things were believed. Open racism. Democrat Eric Gisler has won the Georgia HD 1-2-1 special election, flipping the seat from red to blue. Georgia, you say. Just last year, Gisler lost that district by 22 points. The district was Trump plus 12. Yeah, that's an indicator that the Fuhrer is not doing well. Again, they're going to have to go full Reich. They're only going to lose more elections. This guy had no business winning this. That woman winning in Miami, no business. It's a direct repudiation on the orange shitbag. That's why they're going to have to go full Reich. No more elections, sorry. They have no choice. And you gave them the keys, so it's too late to stop it. This is Leon. What a fucking douchebag. Look at the way he looks. What the fuck is wrong with him? Has he got the Nazi side shave? Yeah, he's got the Nazi side shave. He's starting to look more and more like an Asian woman. This is amazing. We just kind of made up a department. We know, Leon. We know. Do you think you were successful? We were a little bit successful. We were somewhat successful. I mean, we stopped a lot of funding for that really just made no sense. You mean funding for poor people? How many people did you kill, Leon, with your chainsaw? Maybe millions. It makes sense to give Leon, $50 billion in welfare every 6 months, right? Right, cunt? Right, pasty, fat cunt? But these programs for the poor and third world poor and just anything, that's not okay. Giving all the tax money to greedy cunts like Leon and Thale and Altman and all them, that's okay. But these other programs made no sense. Well, again, if we were all about saving money and waste, fraud, and abuse, why didn't we cancel all Leon's contracts? Why didn't we cancel his welfare? We would have saved billions. No, Doge wasn't a success at all, except in this regard. Big Balls, Vlad, Leon, Thale, Donnie, Pam Bondi, others, they got every piece of information about you and your entire family. If you think that will not be used for nefarious purposes against you, you are a raging moron. That was the success. Installing their AI, stealing all of our information, and God knows what they're going to do with it. You fucking idiots. Again, the security architect, 5 minutes after fucking Doge installed new passwords and accounts, the Russians already have the passwords. They're trying to get in. Luckily, that architect understood what was happening and stopped it. That's just one instance. Verified. Of the cunts giving the passwords to the Russians. Fuck you. I hate you. That you made that happen. That just made no sense. You know what doesn't make sense? Giving a fat, pasty, illegal immigrant named Leon billions of our tax money every year. That's what I think doesn't make sense. I would rather the starving third world children and women and poor get the money and the help than a fat, worthless, fucking pasty oligarch who's a Nazi. We might as well have taken the money and just shit on it, pissed on it, burned it. We would have got more value out of it than giving it to Leon. That's for damn sure. What a scumbag. Doge also didn't save us money, it cost us money. This Reich has spent more than Joe Biden at every turn. Wherever you want to look, pick a date. You're being dismantled and looted. You're being liquidated. All the welfare is going to the tech people. The farmers get a tiny bitch handout. And the tariffs stay. And they still lose their farms. But hey, Haggard, Brooke Rollins, and Donnie Shitbags can say they helped you guys. And I see on the news, yeah, that bitch-ass loan they about to give me ain't going to help very much. I still don't have a trading partner. You voted for it, asshole. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I begged for 10 years for people not to do it. They knew better. Zeke, you knew better. Hope you get to keep the farm. I didn't want you to do it. I was hoping you would, but you did. So it's over. Your farm's gone. Apocalypse, Antichrist, Armageddon, Lake. Leon, Jesus Christ, ultimate leech on humanity, talking about other people and programs that didn't make sense. What doesn't make sense to me is giving a fat, pasty, Special K addicted oligarch all that welfare. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Donnie on Ilhan again. Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with her little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. We ought to get her the hell out. She's here illegally. The crowd in Pennsylvania send her back. No, she's not here illegally. That whole birthright citizenship fight, I don't know if you morons out there realize every time that's brought up, that's the Reich's effort. And the Supreme Court's about to rubber stamp it. Don't worry. They always do. That's the road to deporting U.S. citizens. Your dumbasses do understand that, right? That's why Donnie's so serious about it. That's why he cares about it so much. That's why he keeps talking about it, posting about it. That's the road to deporting U.S. citizens. And I know, Rube, you don't think it's possible that you'll be on the wrong end of that deportation. You're wrong, son. And I'm 1,000,000 times smarter than you. 1,000,000. That ain't an exaggeration either. You know how I know that? I saw the Antichrist coming a mile away. And I would have never endorsed him, voted for him, enabled him. Why? Because I'm 1,000,000 times smarter than you. That's why. Again, that don't make me feel good. I wish you were smart too. Then I'd have a future. You abject cunt. But I don't, because of you. And neither do you, son. Because of you. This is another reason I hate you. For 10 years, I've had to hear the word tariff about tariffs, and I've known for 10 years it's a straight up grift, and he putting the money right in his pocket. That's why he loves it so much. My favorite word is tariff. Tariffs are bringing us hundreds of billions of dollars. I just helped our farmers out because they're starting to do really well. The tariffs are making them rich. What Donnie means, he keeps making statements like this. Everything's going great. Billions coming in, making them rich, making America rich. What Donnie means, what did I tell you, class? Everything's projection. Everything's me, me, me. He means the tariffs are making me rich. You fucking idiots. And it's a tax on the American people. That's all. I am so sick of the word tariffs and the concept and knowing every time this cunt brings it up. 1, you're responsible. 2, it's going right in his goddamn pocket. And he gave more money to bail out Argentina than he's given you fucking idiot rubes on the farm. And rubes, where do you think most of the money's gonna go? To the big corporate farm or your bitch ass? You know the answer to that question, and you still voted for this moron. Therefore, I hate your guts. Because I and good people must suffer him now because you're a cunt. Because of your existence. Fuck you. Now you want to cry on everyone's shoulder, we're losing the farm. Well, then don't be a fucking fat-ass idiot who votes for the devil. Again, after you watched him for 4 years. Fuck you in the ass. I know, again, the racism runs deep with you cunts. You've proven it. Apocalypse. End of fucking America. Fuck you. Somebody really needs to say it. And again, when you make that final stupid decision, the cherry on top of your worthless goddamn existence, when you make that final decision, I'll take the mark off. The cherry on top when you open the door to the path to the lake. Guaranteed path. That's your future, son. I already know it. And again, I'm a million times smarter than you. I already knew what you would do. I already know what you'll do. Donnie at the rally again. Already they're saying better than Lincoln, better than Washington, better than everybody, the best 10 months ever in the history of the presidency. Again, do you know why he's saying that? Because he's made more money than ever. He's richer than ever. And it's all off grift, lies, murders, cheating, selling pardons. Shit, he hired that Martin guy just to do pardons. Donnie's busy. He can't make all these backroom deals for these pardons. He can't make sure the check's all clear himself. He had to open up an office to do that. The best 10 months ever, Donnie means for himself. I'm not kidding. He always talks like this. That's because he's getting richer than God. And you losing a farm. Here's Donnie telling us to cut back on things. The guy who shits in a gold toilet when, he doesn't shit his diaper. The guy who puts gold all over the walls. On your dime, of course. The guy that goes to his golf course every weekend. On your dime, pockets the money. The guy who spares no expense because you're paying for it, dumbass. Mark. Let's see what he has to say. You can give up certain products. You can give up pencils because under the China policy, every child can get 37 pencils. They only need 1 or 2. They don't need that many. You always need steel. You don't need $37 for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice. So we're doing things right. Did Ivanka only have 2 or 3 when she was a young girl? Thieving Antichrist cunt. Do you cut back on anything? How many burgers do you stuff through your fat fucking burger hole every day? In other words, you've got no problem spending the taxpayer, spending the treasury as if it's water. And you're telling people they have too many pencils for their children, too many dolls. Again, this ain't the first time. When now we're at the point 10 months later, he was saying this back a while ago. Now we're at the point 10 months later where people are really hurting now. And he's saying it again. Amazing. Amazing. Dying America. The empire's literally falling right now. And it's not coming back. No one's going to come save it. It's over. And I know that for certain. And in dying America, as the empire falls, and it's never coming back, we got this cunt saying, buy your daughter less dolls, buy your kid less pencils. I hate you. You who made this happen. Trump on 2028. Jesus Christ, how many more do I have? Fuck. What the hell? I lost my place, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot about that. Better than Lincoln and Washington and everybody. I forgot. The best 10 months ever in the history of president. I read it, but I didn't comment. He's not fit to shine Lincoln or Washington shoes. The pencils comment. Oh, here's Donnie being an abject traitor to the Constitution, traitor to America again, talking about running for a third term, becoming dictator for life, which he tried to do last time by staging a coup. They say I'm not allowed to run. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's okay. He said 4 more years. You see the new hat. We have 4 more years, 2028. So Donny Krasnov, the Russian asset and traitor who staged a coup and stole 3,000 classified documents, wants to be dictator for life. He already tried it once. And Rube, it won't go good for you. I don't care how much you think you're on the team. You're not. Oh, I'm going to read, again, more context on the shithole country comment. I've announced a permanent pause on third world migration. I didn't say shithole, you did. We had a meeting and I said, why is it we only take people from shithole countries? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let's have a few from Denmark. Do you mind sending us a few people? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, filthy, dirty, disgusting. When you add more context on a Donny Shitbag's comment, it gets worse. Always. Because again, so many of you over the years, you don't read the whole speech and look at the whole speech. But oh, it gets worse, son, when you do that. You didn't know? You think it gets better? Wow. Somalia is dirty and Norway, Sweden is not, and Denmark. Why is that? I wonder. You know the answer to that question. Open racism, facade dropping, more. Again, Donnie whining and bitching. Look at I am not reading all this. I'll read a little bit of it. Holy fucking shit. He dares talk about Ilhan Omar whining and crying. Are you fucking... No one's a bigger bitch than Donnie Shitbags. I've never seen nothing like it. Every one of you right-wing males, rubes out there, women are too emotional and shit. No one's a bigger bitch than Donnie Shitbags. So if you say, I can't vote for a woman because she's too emotional, you voted for the ultimate bitch. Right here. Does nothing but bitch, moan, cry every day. His emotions do the gamut. He's like a 3-year-old out of control. Don't ever critique a woman for being too emotional. Again, if your name is on this cunt. Oh my God. There has never been a president that has worked as hard as me. Whew. My hours are the longest. My results are among the best. No, they're not. I've stopped 8 wars. No, you didn't. Saving millions of lives in the process. Created the greatest economy in the history of our country. All right, I can't go any further. He brags about himself the entire statement. His cognitive exams, all of it. There's a whole section on him passing a dementia test. Aren't you proud, Rubes? He was able to pass a dementia test barely. We're fucking doomed, thanks to you. Donnie wrote this because they getting scared in the Reich. They know how bad it is. They ain't even releasing the jobs. Inflation Nothing numbers. Just straight not releasing it. That's how bad it is. Farmers killing themselves, losing their farms, going bankrupt, and this bailout ain't going to do shit for them. That's why Donnie wrote a thing about bragging about himself and how great everything is. This is a total waste of time to read this whole thing. Don't dare do it. That's why they were all out on the shows. That's why Donnie had the rally. They getting scared. They're walking on eggshells. They worried the pitchforks and torches are about to come out because they know how bad it is out there. That's why he wrote that. Nazi half-trillionaire Leon Scum tells Katie Miller that Somalia is a long way from Minnesota, even though Pretoria is 500 miles farther. Let's look at Ilhan Omar, who was literally voted into Congress by a large group of people from Somalia who are in Minnesota, which is really far from Somalia, or Mamdani, who was voted as to be mayor, but by a majority of people who are not born in America. Leon wasn't born in America. Why is who he voted for okay, but Mamdani and Ilhan aren't okay? Or any liberal, why are they not okay, but the person Leon voted for is okay, and he's not born, he's not from here? Would it happen to have something to do with skin color? Of course. Leon's a Nazi salute guy. He's a racist fuck. So's Donnie. And the coordinated talking point is Somalis, Ilhan, all that. They're both repeating it. And Nordic and Germany. Just to let you know, it's about white versus black, dark versus light, all that in their minds. Pure racists, pure Nazis, pure scum. Here's Donnie at the rally again. Transgender for every member of your family. If they're not feeling well that night, let's just change their sex. The fact that this is a thing to you people is why your country's over. That you took this seriously. Transgender for everybody. You don't feel good, we're going to trick you to becoming a transgender. No, that doesn't exist, cunt. But rubes exist. Dumbasses that vote for, have their family gassed. Vote to have their family in prison. Vote to have their family deported, their spouse, their husband, whatever, because they're too dumb. You believed in things like that. You believed in transgender for everybody. That's why your country's over, son. Reason number 2,000,001. The dumbest things. Imagine if you worried about real serious things. All of you. Maybe some actual real legislation would have gotten passed in the last 40 years besides tax cuts for the rich. You fucking morons. Donnie joking about mass murder and the boats down there. The problem is nobody wants to go fishing anymore. They don't want to get in boats. They don't want anything to do with boats. I think we've destroyed the boat market. Other than that, it's been very effective. Really? Effective how? It hasn't saved one American life. Look, they're mass murdering people down there, and then they pardon drug traffickers here because they want Venezuela's oil, and they want the cartels to know we want in, or we're taking it all. And again, for the, 90th time, Donnie in front of cameras joking about mass murder and how no one wants to go out in a boat out down that part of the world because of the mass murderer, Pete Hegseth and Donnie shitbags. That's why. It's not a good thing. It's evil as fuck, actually. In fact, there's a tape of them murdering 2 people stranded in the water. And they don't want to show it to you. But Donnie just said how great it was. I don't understand. You've enabled mass murder. But I know you're pro-life, right? No, you're not. You never were, son. You might have been pro-birth. That's it. You're not capable of being pro-life. Joking about mass murder again. Fuck you, who made this happen. All right, now we're at the end. And I already went over this. 4 more years. We have 4 more years, 2028. Did you see the new hat? A president who's a Russian asset named Donny Krasnov, openly selling merchandise that preaches the violation of the Constitution, the very document that is the law of the land. So he can be dictator for life. And he's saying this openly. And he's selling merchandise, preaching being a traitor. I hate you that you gave this traitor the keys. You might have wanted to make, I don't know, liberals mad or something. Maybe that gives you some type of pleasure. And you see people yelling about this, and it gives you some type of pleasure that you're hurting them in some way. Son, I promise you, you've hurt yourself much more. And when it comes knocking on your door, be it the plagues after you take the mark or the Reich itself, because you run your dumbass mouth one day and you get the knock, like Margie's doing right now. You think Margie's going to go on an enemies list now? She's going to get the experience that I'm going to get, that so many people are going to get. She went on a list, son. I want you to remember that joy you got out of people yelling about this, the people that are persecuted, deported, put in death camps, put in the box, put in CCOT. I want you to remember that you made it happen. And I want you to know, son, and again, I'm way smarter than you. What happened to those people will seem like nothing in comparison to what will happen to you. And again, son, I've been right about all of it. And I'm way smarter than you. Enjoy. Thank you for your attention to the apocalypse that you have wrought. Have a wonderful evening.